Surprise, surprise. The Houston Astros are first place in the American League West, and we did it again. We counted them out. They said the dynasty is over. It's not over. It's just continuing yet again. The Houston Astros are the hottest team in baseball, and they are first place again, and America's most hated team is back in the driver's seat. So we'll break that down and much more in this episode of 3 Up, 3 Down. What's up, everybody? Welcome into 3 Up, 3 Down. I'm your host, Peter Vryonis, and it pains me to make a video about the Houston Astros, but I have to. I can't ignore how hot this team has been lately, and they're doing it again. After the cheating scandal, they've still managed to be one of baseball's dynasties. They've still been the most consistent team that we've seen in the past decade and a half, and that's continuing again this year. They were pretty much down and out at the start of the season, and now they've made a resurgence and they're first place yet again. So before we get into the video, make sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Not sure how many Astro fans are going to be pleased with my comments that I made at the beginning of the video, but if you're an Astros hater, then go ahead and leave me your support in the comments down below. And let me preface this by saying I don't hate the Astros, okay? They never did anything to my Toronto Blue Jays, but they did cheat, and they were not reprimanded for it. So that is something that I don't really let slide too often, but hey, it is what it is, and they're still one of the best collections of talent that we've ever seen in the modern day game, and the results show that. So have nothing really to say on that front, but let's take a look at where they were at not too long ago. They were 33-40. They were 10 games back of the Seattle Mariners, and this was a Mariners fan account here that was posting this. Texas Rangers lose, Houston Astros lose, our Seattle Mariners have a 10-game lead in the AL West. And that shows that the Astros were scuffling. They were not doing well, and everyone started to count them out. The same thing happened last year, and what did they do? They went ahead and won the division, because of course they did. Now, the Astros, their pitching is meh, like we don't really know what to think of their pitching, but that offense is special, and it's spearheaded by Yordan Alvarez and Jose Altuve, who continues to hit like he is 25 years old and is not slowing down anytime soon. And this is technically a down year for Alvarez, who has under 30 home runs on the year, but he's still one of the best hitters in the game of baseball today. So this was a couple months ago, showing that the Mariners were pretty much in great position to go ahead and cakewalk themselves to a divisional title. And now we look at this. The Astros do not play today, but gained another half game in the AL West race. They are now in first place by 3 games after winning 8 in a row, and the Mariners getting swept by the Tigers. Inevitable. And that last word right there, and I'm not a big fan of Ben Verlander, inevitable is the word that I would describe the Astros with in this past 12-year stretch that they've had, or whatever, however many years of success that they had. That is the word that I would use, inevitable, because we counted them out so many times. We said they don't have the pitching. Altuve is not the same player that he was in years past, but that is all bogus. That's all a load of crap, and they're shoving it right in our faces right now. Just baseball fans in general want to see this franchise crumble. They want to see them make stupid trades like acquiring Yusei Kikuchi for 3 prospects that figure to play pretty frequently in the majors starting next season. And what does Yusei Kikuchi do? He turns his entire season around, and he goes there and he absolutely shoves, and he shows Dana Brown that this was the right move to make. Everything that the Astros have done lately has worked out for them. And their prospect system, it's not great by any stretch, but Yordan Alvarez was not a ranked prospect when he was acquired from the Los Angeles Dodgers for Josh Fields a few years ago. He was not a ranked prospect. And now he's arguably one of the best hitters in the game, if not top 3 best hitters in the game, just for his sheer consistency and his playoff performance as well. That's one really underrated aspect of Yordan Alvarez. It's how great he is once the clock turns to October. That's how fantastic this guy is. And I know Aaron Judge is great, but the playoff success is not really there. He doesn't really back it up with great playoff numbers, whereas Jordan probably becomes the most feared hitter in the game once October rolls around. And he plays deep into the playoffs, a lot deeper than Aaron Judge ever has with the New York Yankees. So, yeah, we can count them out all we want, but truly, they are inevitable, as Ben Verlander said in that back portion of that tweet there. And we could see this as well. They're about to get Justin Verlander back, who is not the same Justin Verlander. You know, he's 40 years old now. He's got a lot of runway on that arm. But he threw 57 pitches yesterday, 41 strikes. Velocity was in the mid-90s. And didn't walk anybody. That's a vintage Justin Verlander performance right there. And he's going to be back before we know it, and the Astros are going to get some much-needed rotation help alongside Yusei Kikuchi, and that team is just looking real good right now. They won 8 games in a row. They are the hottest team in baseball, and that's the story right there. The Astros continue to succeed despite people counting them out, despite baseball fans all rooting on their downfall. And it's a tight-knit community, the Astro fans. They all back one another, and they all want the Astros to do great. But you can't lie. Even the Astro fans at the beginning of the year must have been a little bit concerned, right, with what they were seeing. And, again, we'll go back to this. This was about 80 games into the season. We see how far back they are of the Seattle Mariners. And now, if we look at their record, I mean, it's just, they did a complete 180 since that moment where they were trailing the Astros by that exorbitant amount of games. And we could take a look here. They're now 65-55. So they've won 32 games and lost 15 since that stretch, since their record was 33-40. And they've constantly made up ground. The Mariners have been playing okay. Like, they've lost 3 in a row. I know that. They got swept by the Tigers. But they were not really hurting themselves with their play. I know their offense is not good, but the Mariners were kind of staying afloat, right? It's not like they were hand wrapping the division to give it to the Astros. That's not what was happening. The Astros just turned the corner and decided to play like World Series champs yet again. And that's what's happening right now. That's what's probably going to happen for the rest of the season. And I would not be shocked if they represent the American League yet again in a World Series. But that'll wrap it up for this episode of 3 Up, 3 Down. What do you guys think of the Astros resurgence? Do you have a problem with them? Are you indifferent on the Astros, or are you a Yankee fan? Let me know in the comments down below. But that'll wrap it up. Thank you guys so much for making it this far. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button as well. And check out Baseball Town. They got 3 locations in Canada, 2 in Quebec, 1 in Ontario, in Ottawa. So check them out. And if you're not close to there, we ship worldwide as well. You get $10 off your first order, get free shipping on everything over $99, and it's your one-stop shop for everything that you need baseball related, whether it's bats, gloves, batting gloves, cleats. They got you covered. The best equipment at the most competitive prices. Check them out today. But I'll see you next week.